Hello everybody. So after a long time we are interacting. In this session we will learn and revise the functions in C programming. And the first topic of this chapter is concept and need of functions. So we'll discuss this topic in this session. So what is a function in C? As the name of function, performing some task, some operation. A function is a block of code that performs a fixed specific task. Why it's called fixed? Because every time it will do the same operation. It will not deviate a minute or slight in a slight way or slight manner. So every time whenever it will call, it will be executed, it will do the same operation again and again. As we know, a large C program is a combination of so many functions. In real-time development, in application development, when you will be able to develop build an application, at that time you will use the numerous functions, inbuilt functions, user-defined functions, and in one program, so many functions will be used. So C program is a collection of numerous functions, and every function statements or codes, or we can say the instructions, is enclosed in a curly bracket. When we open the curly bracket, the function operation starts, statement starts, and from that point, that location, the function starts. And when you close the bracket, the operations of functions terminated and gets completed. So there are some situation scenario. Suppose that if you want to build an application, and that application will contain so many programs, and in one or two programs there will be some operation which will be repeated done again and again. So same task, same operation will be performed. For this situation there will be two conditions and two options will be there. Either you can write the same set of statements or codes every time whenever it's needed or required. Second option is that we can create a function that will be once at one location, and that will be called from the program whenever it's needed or required. So it's better practice, it's better approach to use the function. That is the second option. In good programming practices, we should use the functions. Now we will discuss the need of function. Why the functions needed? So there are so many numerous need, or we can say applications. Some of them important aspects we'll discuss here. That is, it improves the readability of the code. Readability of the code means easily we can come across the functions, we can determine it, we can see it, we can understand it, because it's written at one location. If we are not using the concept of function, that will be written on the different locations. In that case, readability will be not very good. Numerous locations, the same operations, and every time the thing is needed. But here it's written once, and it will be called by using the function call whenever it's needed or required. Second is it improves the reusability of the code. Easily it can be used anywhere in the program. It can be called by another program, and it will save our effort, it will save our time. Third option is we can say the important need or advantage of the function is that debugging is easier. If we are writing the codes or same code on different location, so if error occurs, one particular type of error occurs, then all those locations the same error will occur, and we have to go it, we have to find it, we have to trace it, and we have to debug it. But in this case, the code will be at one location, the set of statements will be at one location, and we have to rectify the errors, we have to debug the code at one location only. And fourth advantage or importance of function is that it reduces the size of the code, of course, because if instead of 10, 20, 100 locations, numerous locations, the same set of statements will be written, it will be compiled, it will be used. So if we are using the functions, it will be written at one location, it will be compiled, and one set of code will be there. That's why it reduce the size of code. So less occupancy of the disk space will be there. Compilation will be very fast, and it will be very efficient. So there are so many aspects of the function. These are the aspects of the function. We'll see these are aspects on the next slides in detail. The function declaration or prototype, function definition, and function call. These are the three aspects of the function. How they are being used, how we can use, how we'll declare, how we'll define, and how we'll call, how we'll invoke those functions. So first one is the function declaration or prototype. You have used so many prompts, you have written so many prompts, and you have encountered numerous occasion. Function should have a prototype such error. When it appears, why it appears? Because you have used some function, you have called some function, and it's not defined earlier. It's not defined in your prompt. It's not included the header files where those functions will be written. In case of inbuilt functions, like if you are using the printf, you are using the scanf, you are using any other function, getch, like such function, and you have not used stdio.h file in your program, then at that time you will encounter a function prototype error. So first step is that we have to declare the function. The one line declaration will be there, and it's very simple. Declaration, the return data type, means function what data type it will return. Either it will be character, it will be integer, it will be float, or void. If no value has to be returned from that function, then we'll use the void. So these are the various data types. All the data types, permissible data types in C used in the function also. And then it comes the function name. We have to give the meaningful name of the function, so that by viewing the name coming across the function name, we can easily identify the purpose of the function. Any name can be given, anything can be given, x, y, z, abcd, anything, but it should be meaningful. And third one is that in parentheses we provide the argument or parameter list. What is the argument or parameter? On which the function works, on which the values, the operation take place. That is passed from the calling function, or it might not be passed. If it's a normal function, we are simply calling, then all the operations, all the inputs and outputs will be given from a function, and normally the calling function will print and will do the call only, and the thing will take place on the function location. So argument list or parameter list is the values provided to the function to perform on. Second part is function definition. Here we define all the statements, all the steps, and the code is being written in curly bracket. That is the set of statements which will perform the desired operation or desired or fixed a specific task. So again here we have to write the return data type, function name, and argument list, and the body of the program will start, body of the function will start. In that case the code statements will be written, will be used. And finally we have to call the function. We have declared the function, we have defined the function. Now we have to call the function, means we have to use the function. There's numerous ways for using the function. It might be called in the same prompt, by the other functions. It might be called from another form, another location. So numerous ways we can provide the function name and the argument list in the parenthesis if we have argument. Otherwise, simply we can call the function name, we'll open the parenthesis, close the parenthesis, and it will redirect, the control will go to the function part, it will do the necessary operation from there. In every case, the control will be passed, control goes to the function body, and it will execute all the statements, and whatever the operations, whatever the instructions written over there, that will be executed. Then after completing, it returns the value, and it will call to the calling function from where the function is being called. Third one is we will call the function and will store those functions in one particular value for later on operation. It will be printed, it will be used, it will be restored, it will be stored for some other specific task or a specific operation. Syntax of function declaration is here. We'll see. The syntax is return type, means data type, function name, argument and parameter list, and the detailed explanation is here. Return, what is the return type? There is a specific data type which the function will return. It will be double, it will be character, it will be float, it will be void, it will be integer. And function name, that should be, we have just have explained you, okay, it should be a meaningful name. It can be any name can be given to the function, but it should be meaningful. For example, if we want to add two numbers, we'll see on the next slides the same form. If we want to two numbers, then we can give the function name we can give the function name add, we can give the function name addition, we can give the function name add underscore to underscore num. Any name can be given. But if you are giving the meaningful name, then anybody can come. If we are giving the name like add underscore to underscore num, means that is the function written for addition of two numbers. And third one is argument or parameter list. Here we provide the values, we give the values which is given to the function body, which is passed to the function body from the calling function, and the operation will take place on those parameters or arguments. Now, syntax for calling a function. How we'll call a function? In this way, we can give the function name, we can give the arguments or parameter lists. We'll provide, that is optional. We can provide, if the mechanism that we have to provide, we have declared, then we have to provide the argument list or parameter. If you are not declared, then we can't provide the argument or parameter list. That will be taken from the function itself. Or second is a function, and open the parenthesis, close the parenthesis. Simply it will redirect the control to the function. It will direct the control to the function, and whatever the operations has to be performed there, simply those operations to be executed, and after executing those things, it will come back to the calling function, and whatever the operation is being performed, that will be, if some print operation is taking place in function, that will be printed on your screen. You will see. Third is a variable is equal to function name and argument or parameter list. After operation, after returning the value from the function, it will be stored in a particular variable for further operations. So here again the argument list is the permissible values which is declared, that has to be provided to the function to do the necessary operation or task. So we can call a function by without passing arguments or parameters as in second case, and we can store the result of values returned by a function in a variable as in third case. This is the syntax of function definition. We have seen in that table also. So return type, function name, argument and parameter list. We have discussed set of statements. Here we will write the block of code, all the statements, all the instructions will be written here, which will perform those tasks which are repetitively, which have to be done whenever it will call the operation, same operation and same task will be performed, that a specific task will be performed. So again, the return type, the return data type of the function name, it's a meaningful function name, and argument and parameter list which has to be given to the from the calling function. So it will provide the parameters, it will provide the values in terms of particular data type, and all the arguments or parameters must have values. They have the legitimate value like integer, character, float, and double. Block of code, there are a set of instructions which is written in that curly bracket, and that is executed, that is compiled and executed from there. We'll use a program, sample program for a function. We'll see here. So we are writing the first line is we have included the header file hash include stdio.h. This will contain all the standard input output file like printf, scanf functions will be here. Just we are going to use getch functions will be included. Is the part of that header file. So second one is the function prototype or function declaration. Here there is a green line. This is the comment. This will not executed. This line will not execute. Compiler will ignore. So this is only comment. This is for understanding point of view purpose, for showing what operation we are performing here and what is the meaning of this statement. For that purpose we have put the comment line. So comment, this is the comment function prototype or function declaration. So next line, the green, again the green line, this is the function declaration and prototype. Here we are declaring float and sum. Float is a data type, return type we can say, and the sum is a function name, and float a and float b is the two arguments passed. This is the argument list. So function will return the float data type, and the arguments which we are passing also it's a float. Next is we are opening the main function. We are writing the main function. Open the curly bracket. The first we have declared the two variables because we have to read the two variables, and that will be passed to the function sum. We have used one variable total which will contain which will take the value from the called function sum. Printf enter two numbers to find sum. It normally it is a printf command that is included. That's also function. Printf function and scanf function, that is stored, that is compiled, that is incorporated in the standard stdio.h. So next statement is reading the value, that those values will be read and stored in the x and y, address of x and address of y. So first value and second value will be correspondingly it will be stored in x and y. Now this red line, this is a function call. So we have read the value that is stored in x and y, two variables. Now total is equal to sum of xy. A sum of xy, that will be called. Simply the function will be invoked by you. This statement sum, total is equal to, it's not necessary. We are the value which will return, that will be redirected to the another variable, that is total. So sum xy, these are the x and y, these are the argument list, these are the variables which will be passed to the function sum. Now next line is it will print the this one addition of two numbers sum, and that will be stored, that is stored in a total, and that value will be printed. Simply it's a getch statement. Now the curly bracket will be closed. Now next is the blue line, function definition. This is again comment line. So this comment line, after that will start writing our function. The first line is float sum and float a comma float b. Here we are not terminating with a semicolon. Here we are defining. In body the statements will be terminated by the semicolon. but it's the function definition first line will not terminated by the semicolon. But in case of declaration, we have seen when in the green line float sum and float a comma float b. That is a declaration, that is a prototype, and that is terminated with a semicolon. But here in definition, it's not terminated with a semicolon. Now the function body will start here. It will be opened. So we have we have declared one variable float s. So s is a variable which will add the a plus b, that the value a plus b, that is the x and y from the main function. The value of x and y is given to the a and b, and now the s is equal to s, we have taken short form sum, s is equal to a plus b, and return s. The s will be returned, whatever the values will be stored in the s, that will be returned to the calling function, main function, and that will be in total is equal to some xy, that will be stored in the total variable after giving the values. So here we'll see the output would like this. Enter two numbers to find sum. We have entered 10 and 20. Now the sum of 10 point 0000 and 20.00, because we have taken the float number and float number. So after a decimal, standard positions will be taken, and it will print the sum of 10 comma 000 and 20 comma 00, because I have taken the printf statement to over there. Sum of %f and %f is equal to %f x comma y comma total. So first x will be replaced with the first %f, second %f will be replaced by y, and third %f will be replaced by total. So here again we'll see the same program, we'll elaborate the same program. In this function prototype or function declaration, here we'll declare the function data type as a float, which will return, and the function name is sum, and argument list is a and b. Now the program starts. Here the program computation, the program, it will read the two variables, it will ask the function call. So this red line, it shows the function call. In this function call, the function x and y, it takes the values x and y, that is passed to the function where we have defined, and it will go to that location. It will be stored in variable a and b, and the operation will be done on those parameters, those variables, those values, and that will be returned to the calling function, and the values will be stored in total. Now this ends here, function main function ends here. Now function definition, and with its block of code block, it exists here. The same code I have repeated with some more explanation, so that you can go through it easily. You can see it and how the function take place, what are the different aspects of the function, like function definition, that is function prototype, calling a function, and definition of the function, where it will store all the steps to perform that desired task. So here function, it's taking the values x and y from and that will be stored in the a and b, because it's passed from the calling function main, and the operation will take place. So we'll add two numbers, and it will return the value. So here the function returns the value, and that will go to the calling function main. So thanks for watching patiently, and I hope that you might have understand the concept of the function. So if you have any doubt, then you can contact me, and in the next session we will discuss